not least, twitch.tv/Neil Roberts.
I play squash in Iodine Chronicles. Oh. Sorry. Kiss, kiss, kiss again. My trembling knife hand writes to all of you with love. Yeah, that was my. Yes, that was
Very good, Neil. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. This is good. I would sit here and talk to you for 2 hours, exhausting each and every one of you, but unfortunately we only have so much time, and obviously I want to try and make sure some of these amazing members of the community get to ask their questions. We have almost exactly 13 minutes left, and there are quite a lot of you, and because there's a lot of people on here, I'm going to see if we can try and keep it relatively quick so we can rattle through as many as possible. Beth, pick left or right?
I'm going to go left because I saw you get there really fast.
You did. You were up, I think, before I finished the sentence.
Hi, I'm Zoe from Portugal. First off, I want to say congratulations. And my question was, after nearly 4 years of voice work and motion capture, how was it your first experience seeing the project complete? And like in Neil's and George's case, experiencing the game for yourselves.
In all honesty, on release day, we were actually on a different project altogether. So basically, we came out, we were midway through sessions, like, oh, we're at line 276. Oh, and that's been released. Yay! We're moving on to line 277. And it was like, that was the initial moment we had. And then after the fact, we got to experience it.
It was surprising to see a lot of the visuals that we never saw, because as you know, the writing in the game is amazing. They're so talented, the writers, so we would get these really good bios for the characters and descriptions of scenes, but there's loads of stuff we'd visually never seen, loads of character design we'd never seen. So it was really exciting to be like, oh wow, okay, we're in that kind of area. Wish I'd known. Anyway, thank you.
Would anyone else like to jump in?
I mean, I would just say, what's been extraordinary to me is you can play through this game from beginning to end. It'll take you, I don't know, 100, 150, 200 hours. You can go back to the start, play it again, and have an entirely different experience. I mean, that to me is extraordinary. So, you know, there's a lot of gameplay still out there, right?
Well, thank you very much for your question. Really appreciate it. We're going to now hop over to the right. Oh, spotlight comes down on you like you're in musical theatre. Hello, what is your question?
Hi, my name is Tim, and I just wanted to first say thank you for an incredible masterpiece. I thought when we heard of it, it's really brought you back into video games and actually aspiring voice acting now. My question comes off the back of that. When you're in the studio, do you prefer sometimes working with just voice, or do you like doing motion capture with that as well? How do the two mediums inform each other? Are there ways that work differently across them? Do you prefer one or the other, or just do the whole shebang? Thank you.
I think it depends on the project. Sometimes where you've got like very sort of photorealistic or at least very grounded, realistic characters, then the combination of motion capture and voice performance is delightful because you get all the subtle nuances. If you're doing animation, then sometimes you don't need the motion capture. Then you can just lean them onto voice as well and get a little more heightened and characteristic. But personally, you can both.
Lovely. In terms of, it's decided in advance whether the lines are going to be either voice or mocapped. So for Baldur's Gate 3, we knew that the drama was going to be mocapped and voiced in advance.
Okay.
That were made, you know,
Oh, have you already bought it and just got to pick it up?
Like the hours.
All right, okay.
So we don't really get a choice in that way. That is decided from the start. I think doing there was an incredibly large amount of creative freedom with voice, as Josh says. I think one of the things that we personally didn't get to do so much of was big cinematic scenes, which is for performance capture. We have both voice and mocap at the same time, and that is a bit more like theatre or film, where you're blocking the scenes, and that takes a lot. and that keeps and that's a I don't personally have a choice. I don't have like a preference over one or the other. They can be very different mediums. They can combine in really important and really exciting ways. What was really great for us to be able to work with actors doing both is that we could match the physicality to the voice of the character and create an entire character from the bottom up. Whereas if you do them separately, you are retrofitting one to the other. And you get a lot of games, I'm not going to mention any games in particular because I would like to keep my job in this industry, but there are lots of games where you can kind of tell that the voice and the mocap are done separately. So somebody has mocap to the voice, or their voice to the mocap, because it doesn't look like the seamless creation, it doesn't look like something that's created. Whereas in the studio for every character, we were going, this is how it sounds, and you are also, the actors also creating how it moves as well.
That was an incredibly detailed answer, Marcus. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your question. I like the idea that when this one fades up, someone's going to go closer for the door. Sorry. Anyway, hello, what's your name? What's your question?
My name is Ellen. My question is a bit stupid, but if you have like the chance to kind of play another character, you know, just for funsies, like who's vibe and kind of like
Darling.
Another Neil, because it's a ring.
But the problem is, I don't think one could do it as well as anyone else. Everyone is so perfectly cast that one might pretend to wish one was playing those characters, but in truth, it would probably be quite embarrassing because everyone was cast so specifically and brilliantly. I think the dark urge should say darling a bit more often, that's all.
I agree. There's plenty of people I'd love to let you play the game. You see the characters, you see the performances, and it's unbeatably good, so it's a no from me.
It's a no from Dame George Taylor. And Andrew,
No to funsies.
anything from yourself either?
I've nothing really to add. I'm quite happy playing Raphael, but if you had to push me into a dark corner, it would probably have to be Astarion. In fact, I'd like to get Raphael and Astarion together. You know, then they go on holiday together, I say. They go on holiday by mistake.
I think I'd like to play Orin and just be really fucked up for a bit.
And that's great. Does anyone else have one they'd like to play before we move on to our next question? No? In that case, thank you very much for your question. We shall now move over to the right-hand side. Hello, what's your name? What's your question?
Hello, my name is Tia. I'm from France.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. And thank you for the work you did on Baldur game. I'm very glad to be here and I enjoyed the game. So sorry for my English is not that good. I would like to ask what's a piece of advice you could give to people wanting to start voice acting or...
Okay, we'll do it quick because we've not got that much time. I would definitely say take your time to work out what you are talented at. Not everybody is going to be like a creature voice. I would only cast myself in certain voices. Work out what characters you could play. Get a really good reel. Don't half-ass it. Get it really good. Send it to agents, and just don't be like, oh, well, just quickly do a reel and just see what it's like. Like, do it properly. Do your research. Practice, and then do it. And then send it out to agents.
Practice technique. It is a very labour-intensive job in terms of the voice. If you've got to speak for 4 hours consistently without any form of cracks or breaks, that's something that requires additional training. There are classes you can follow to do that. As well as if you need to project or do shouty parts, a whole other thing as well. There are courses where you can be trained in these things to be able to do it safely for yourself as a performer.
One of the other bits that both Neil and Deborah said when it comes to this is, first and foremost, you're acting. So you have to make sure that you know how to act. You can't just go, well, I bought a USB microphone, I could be in Baldur's Gate 4 now. So as long as you understand that and all the amazing advice here, we may see you in the next game.
Can I suggest something? What you need to do...
You're going to read this as the Dark Urge, is that what this is? You get off the Twitch chat for 5 minutes, mate.
You need to write to Josh and Beth at Suite 4, Metropolitan House, 3840 High Street, Croydon, CRO 1YB.
This is being filmed, by the way, live on the internet. Thanks for the doxing, I suppose.
Is it too late to recast?
I hope that helps, and thank you so much for your question, though. We're now going to come over to the left-hand side.
To be frank, it's the last time I'm going to end up in Croydon. I'm not going to be employed again.
Hello, what's your name? What's your question?
Hi, my name is Ivana. I'm originally from Serbia, but I've lived in the UK for a while and sound like a Canadian. Also, funnily enough, used to have a cat
named Gustav.
Oh.
So my question is, since I'm an actress and I've done a little bit of producing and writing, so I am familiar with what it feels like to put something out into the world and then have it open and vulnerable to opinions. So what kind of sat with me since the beginning of the panel is what you said, Beth, about you were expecting shame, and that really hit me. So my question is, why? Was it a thing of, oh, we could have done this better, we could have done that better, I wish we would have done it better? Or was it a matter of, I love this, we love this, but maybe we're just weird?
Wow! I mean, why? I think you probably have to ask my parents. Why? No, love my folks. It was just, there was so much for us to do. Sometimes it felt out of control. Like, okay, now I'm doing this character, now I'm doing this character, and we're jumping between Act 1, Act 3, and so you kind of feel like, oh, I think I lost the handle on that at certain points. But then when you actually watch it back, you're like, this is good, this is actually good. So I guess, as you relate to that, just doubt that you have as a creator, that you can, in the moment, you can think, yes, this is.
But surely, is it? Well, it's a small part of this whole cock. And when the press pack came in July, and they showed those cities and the world, I had no idea that was what it was going to look like. And I think that you're working in such a small space, you have to trust that everything else will go well. But there are so many things, so many games. Lord of the Rings gone. I did a year or two ago. But there's, you've done films that you think, oh, this is great, this is going to be wonderful. It then comes out and it genuinely isn't. And so, however great you think your small part within this whole is, it's really difficult to believe that everything will come together, because so often in the creative world that doesn't happen. And maybe that's part of what's special about this, is that every single element came together and was absolutely brilliant, but it rarely happens. So I think my default also is obviously blaming my parents, but even though I have no idea where I'm from, but I genuinely think that maybe that's some British thing about the default is it's going to be a failure. But I do think when you don't see the whole, it's really hard to know, ultimately, whether this is actually going to be good or not. So I think that's part of the surprise, because it's, wow, we weren't actually expecting every single part to be brilliant. That's my view.
I mean, I can think of no better place to end this panel than with as good a words as that about how amazing the whole project was. I'm so sorry that we didn't get to all of you, because some of these questions really required really interesting, detailed answers from a wonderful panel. But thank you, all of you. Remember, there is another Baldur's Gate 3 panel this weekend, which I know, Neil, you're on Sunday. So if you guys want to see more of this, we can come back on Sunday for even more. But give it up for your